Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a sex therapist, and today we're going to be talking about squirting. Stay until the end if you're interested in more content to further advance the skills you're going to learn today. Like, subscribe, and stay until the end. So what is squirting anyway? Let's break down the phenomenon of female ejaculation, also known as squirting. So usually squirting occurs when a woman is already at a certain plateau of arousal. Heightened sensation and levels of pleasure equal this exciting sensation. Let's say your partner has female genitalia and is already at a plateau of orgasm, maybe another orgasm. Right around here is when we get to the beginning of what I would call the squirting arousal phase. So what we're gonna do here is, instead of her like pulling away and saying, oh, we're done, we're gonna actually try to keep building up with consent. Instead of contracting her body or clenching during orgasm, as the partner, we're going to encourage her to keep breathing in the nose, out the mouth, and try pushing past the little urges of stopping or getting shy or embarrassed. Also, just a fun tip 2, make sure that you have a towel down, a sex blanket, which has like a waterproof side and then a comfortable side to lay on. Just because squirting can get messy, so we don't want to have you in a situation where you have to now lay in the mess after. It doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel sexy. So just a tip for you, make sure you have a towel or something down. And don't be embarrassed, because this happens. How many of you who follow us bring a towel into play and into the bedroom? If you don't, highly suggest it. Once your partner has already had an orgasm, we're trying to get her to squirt. What we're gonna do after orgasm is have something inserted into the vagina. So if it's a finger, you're gonna go finger into the vagina, palm up, one finger into the vagina to start with. Then we're gonna put pressure on the top of the mounds, or where the clitoral gland is, externally in the vulva. So say the person is laying face up, one finger in the vagina, we're gonna make sure that something is here on the partner, say they're laying sideways, to be holding pressure or stimulating the clitoris on top, the external clitoris, the vagina that has a finger in it. Internally, the internal clitoris is pushing against the vagina like this. It's gonna push the walls of the vagina together, and the finger inside is gonna be stimulating the inside of the clitoris now. Also doing something like a finger or two in, if you can, while taking your thumb and putting it on the clitoral gland, is something that makes for an easy motion in and out that works for squirting once someone is already at that level. If you have a towel, also be sure your nails are clean and trimmed so that you don't hurt the person that you're performing this on. While we're doing this part inside the vagina, you can either curve the fingers up, so this type of movement inside the vagina. For some people, sometimes it's straight, sometimes a little left or right, depending on the anatomy of that vagina. With that being said though, what you're doing is, by stimulating the external clitoris, the internal clitoris is getting full with blood, and as that happens, you're creating a lot more sensation and pleasure around the G-spot, which is that like come here motion that people talk about inside the vagina. It's really the back of the clitoris. It's more of a spot than an actual anatomical thing that we're going to feel. However, with that being said, this is why the squirting can occur. The whole internal clitoris also has to be filled with blood. When you're inside a person's body, this motion might get annoying, so they might like just the in and out motion better. Ask your partner. It depends on the month, the day, the partner. It could depend on a lot of different things. So attune to them, ask them, does this feel good? On a 1 to 10, this pressure for me is a 7. What is it for you receiving? so that you can calibrate, because we want to get them to squirt. So we really need to be in communication to understand what's working and what's not. So the key of squirting is to apply pressure on the external gland and the vagina at the same time. This is Betty Dotson's part of the rock and roll method of masturbation for those with vaginas also, but we're talking about doing this with a partner. When you hear from your partner, or if you're the person receiving this and you start to feel like you have to pee, that's a good sign. So pee before you start hooking up as well, so you know that it isn't urine, but also when you have that sensation to pee again, this is a sign that you're getting close to the female ejaculation feeling. You might feel a rush of warmth or sensations throughout your body. Not everyone does, but most people do report this I have to pee feeling of urgency just before that next level of climax. So all this is happening because of pressure when the internal clitoris is engorged on the bladder and on the pelvic floor muscles. So this is why we get that I have to pee sensation. Keep going at the same pace, speed, and pressure unless the person receiving tells you to go faster, and just keep going through it. Reassure the person that you're doing this to that it's okay, not to be embarrassed, that you're excited, that you're having fun, just because sometimes like the mind actually gets in the way of getting to ejaculation. So continue to say that. And as you're doing the motion repetitively, once they get to that squirting place or a place of ejaculation, afterwards, they might not want to touch, or they might want to like jump out of bed and clean up. Don't take anything personally. It's okay. It's exciting and new. So just know that the first time you do anything new, it's a little different, sometimes awkward. We're gonna try to consciously embody squirting by using these practices. So as the person giving, I'm really grateful that you'd wanna give that gift to someone, and try not to take it personally if they kind of jump out and run away after. Sometimes that happens. So thanks for staying until the end. If you like this video, hit like. If you want more content on squirting or how-tos, write that in the comments below, because we can do more videos like this. This is a segment from the book that I wrote, Playtime. So thank you for watching the video. Thanks for reading this chapter in the book. I have an excerpt to give away from my book, Playtime, and scroll down, click in the description, and you will get a link to access that. We release new videos Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you then, and thanks for watching.